Hi, I'm John Rastak, and I'm the owner of Elliott Timekeeping Systems. The reason I'm coming forward today and speaking to you today is I want to let you know about a system that we designed to stop having to fire people so often. As weird as it sounds, that's what my job had become with Neat and Clean Janitorial. All the time I was doing is looking for people that were cheating on their time, people that were falsifying records, time cards specifically, and I wanted to create a system where I could create accountability and know what's going on throughout my whole operation. I have 60 employees, so I got sick of waiting outside to see what time somebody wrote down on a time card to go in and find out it was a time that hadn't even happened yet. I would walk in at 8:30, I would see a time card that read 9:30, and there was no employee to be found. So what I created was a system where people clock in and clock out over the phone using the customer's phone number as a place of origin. The system only requires, the system requires only the phone number so that it recognizes it as a legitimate client that we clean for. So the reason that was so imperative that I did it is really comes down to pure math. I have 60 employees and each employee costs me $13 an hour. So if you take a look at it, it's 60 employees, they cost me $13 an hour. If I saved 1 minute, I would have saved 60 minutes. Alright? If I saved 1 minute on them, 1 minute would have cost me $13. Now the reason I say it costs $13, you got to keep in consideration of all the matching taxes, the FICA, the Medicare. So even though an employee only makes 10, it's going to cost you 13. By saving 1 minute for $13 times 5 days a week, you're going to save yourself what, $78 a week? Just on 1 minute per employee across the board. By creating this system, I've saved close to $10,000 a year, just on people that were cheating their time cards. If you want to know more about how to do it, we can explain more about how that is all done in the how it works section of this. But if you want to save 10 grand, I can show you how. Thank you.
The first step in making sure that you have an employee that can clock in and out is to set up a client routine or a client base that the employee is going to be working out of. Now you need to add a client. In this step, you're going to have the master name of the client. So you could be working for XYZ Corp. And they might have several buildings. So we're just going to go ahead and type in XYZ Corp. And after that, we will need to add a building. Now we have our new building. And in the building, it'll be the same thing. So one client can have several different buildings. We're just going to say XYZ Corp. And we'll call it 1 for building 1. The next step will be to put in a viable phone number. This phone number is the phone number that's going to be recognized by the system as a legitimate phone number that you can call from. So you add this number, and when somebody calls the call-in phone number that you'll be given, they say this number 1234567 is a legitimate client number, and yes, they can clock in from there. From there, you just add an employee, and voila, they can actually clock in and clock out.